Um, Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. If you haven't met Amy, she is one of the most fabulously passionate people about what she does, and I really, really enjoy doing these presentations with her. They say 2 o'clock is the time when everybody is the least productive and wanting to reach out for their coffee, but my husband tells me I have a voice that cuts through steel, so hopefully this is a good thing for this webinar. We're going to talk today about using video effectively in nonprofit marketing. And I've been extremely honored this past year to be working with a lot of not-for-profits in what they're doing and how they're trying to get their message out. Yep, okay. Sorry, I'm just responding to Amy, who thinks she can't hear me. But anyway, so let's get right into it. Why do we want to get out there to people to ask for money? Because A, we live in one of the most generous countries on the planet, almost 335 billion by recent records in 2013, and 72% of that comes from individuals. So our goal as people who are looking to make a difference in this world is really reaching out to these people, touching their hearts, and asking them for help in doing what we're doing. And once we reach out to them, it is in our interest to convert this one-time donor into a sustainable community of recurring donors. Video is a really excellent way to do that because with video, you can see, you can hear, you can see emotions in people's faces when they talk. You can hear their passion, things that you don't necessarily hear and see in print. So as it says here, 1 minute of video equals 1.8 million words, says Forrester Research, and having just come off a massive win with video, I can honestly say I believe this. Why does video work? So here are some stats that I pulled from various sources, which basically says that, most people watch video ads, first of all, on the internet. They generally visit the website after watching the video, and video obviously helps them in making shopping and buying decisions because they're understanding so much about what they're shopping and buying when they watch the video. And they're more likely to make a purchase and stay longer on a website after watching a video, if the video is compelling enough, of course. In terms of not-for-profits, what we see is that on average, they're using 11 different content marketing tactics, and some of this includes social media and video and e-newsletters and infographics and blogs and podcasts. And what I want to point out here, as a filmmaker and as a person who says, video is very important to any organization, profit or not-for-profit, it is not the silver bullet. To keep people engaged and to keep people interested and aware of what you're doing, you've got to constantly reach out to them through various media, social media and newsletters and infographics, but every once in a while throw in a video over there because it helps them connect in a way that, as I said earlier, you can't just do with print. On that note, we're going to be talking about a lot of rules about, what you can do, what you shouldn't do, and so on and so forth, but this is my favorite quote from Pablo Picasso: learn the rules like a pro so you can break them like an artist. So let's see what we're going to do to break a couple of rules that we're going to figure out today. First, I wanted to go through a couple of non-profit video success stories. These are organizations that have used video to tremendous success on YouTube, of course. And the first one is Rainforest Alliance. As you'll see, they have 4.5 million views at last count, a very, very popular video. And I'm just showing you these pictures. I hope you will take a moment when you get the recording of this webinar to go and actually look at some of these videos and break it down like you would something else if you're really trying to understand how people craft messages. So I would really advise you to go and take a look at some of these videos after this presentation. It will be very helpful. The next one, this one was huge. It was one of the first not-for-profit videos that actually broke the barrier of YouTube in terms of the top 10 videos. There was actually a not-for-profit video there, and it is a stunningly compelling and powerful video that has saved the children. And all around, people are looking at this campaign as, how it had the impact that it had with 31 million views. And just for a moment, I want to draw your attention to the fact that if you look here, they've made over 646 videos. So this was not a flash-in-the-pan video. As you can see, they've got a strategy going on. They're constantly putting out videos to get their message out there. It's just that this one went hugely viral. Another one is Charity Water, which does benefit from having celebrity involvement of Matt Damon and so on. But they do a fantastic job with content marketing in general. I mean, if you're following them on Facebook and Twitter and on their website and on their YouTube channel, they're constantly in your face about what's going on in the world and why it needs to change and why water is so important. So definitely, if you're looking to see, an organization that does content marketing really well in various channels, I would point you to Charity Water. The next one I want to talk about is Mama Hope. And Mama Hope is one of my favorite videos because I think it is such a fun video. And you know what? I'm just going to share the video with you right now just so we can. Can everybody see the video? Okay. I am trying to actually get back to, here we are. Do you see the presentation? Here we are. So, fabulous. So, here's a video where, it's poking fun, but look at how powerful this video is. Great music, great production value. They've taken a lot of footage, and when you see it, you understand what they're talking about. The next one we're going to talk about is Mankind Initiative. Now, here's another video that honestly, I was shocked when I saw this video because I had no idea that female violence in domestic violence was so horribly large. It was almost 40%. And, here's another video that turned a stereotype on its head, went viral, and was a hugely successful campaign. So the question is, hold on, why are we a little slow? Okay. What do all these videos have in common? It's a powerful and compelling creative, very good production value, and a high shareability quotient. And when we talk about shareability quotient, we're going to cover that in some of the slides that I'm about to show you. I was looking for a quote that talks about why video goes viral, and I thought the New York Times captured it really well. It says, if you want to melt the internet, best to traffic in emotion. The emotional risk can be happy or sad, but the more intense it is, the more likely the story is to be passed along. And the lesson here is make people laugh, make them cry, make them smile, make them feel something. When they feel something, they're going to want to share it, guaranteed. A lot of what I'm going to tell you is stuff that I've learned. I've been doing this for 20 years, but I never stop learning, and every day I find these extraordinary resources of, how you can make your video better and better. And one of the best talks that I've seen on storytelling is by Andrew Stanton, the writer of Toy Story and WALL-E. And basically what he says is, what I said before, which is make people care. Make it look good, make people feel something. If they care, they're going to pass your message along. So if you get a chance, please go and watch this TED Talk. Then, oh my God, science actually proves this. I saw this video recently, and it completely blew me away about why people actually give. And Paul Zak actually studied it and realized that based on how you tell your story, the brain actually releases neurochemicals, and depending on the type of type and quantity of neurochemicals being released, they could actually predict how much people would give to charity, and that's an extraordinary study. So I think, I can pretty much end it here in terms of why you have to make video. So if you get a moment, please go and take a look at this video, it's called The Future of Storytelling by Paul Zak, and it's really informative about why you need to create story. So let's talk about story. How do you actually create a story? Any movie you've watched, any video you've seen, you'll realize follows some kind of formula. Okay, you have a very compelling character who loves something so much, but then has to overcome a whole bunch of obstacles that, and when they overcome it, they finally succeed or fail. For our purposes, you probably don't want to tell a story where the protagonist is failing, because that would defeat the purpose. But definitely, find a story within your organization where something really changed somebody's life, and you will have a very good story to tell. So earlier, Amy alluded to this, and I can't tell you how proud I feel to be able to talk about the Patterson Music Project. The Patterson Music Project, it was one of those situations where, a friend called me up and she said, Jen, these guys have no money, but they want to make a video, and you're the only person who can do it, So, I went over and we talked about how they have no money and we have to make a video. This was one of the most amazing experiences that I had as a filmmaker, because these were amazing clients. Because not only did they understand why they needed a video, but they knew exactly what they were going to do with it. And not only that, as I will show you in the next slide, they set it up for success. So this slide has only 4 bullet points, but I'm going to talk a lot more than this. So just briefly, I would have loved to show you the video, but it is an 8-minute video, and I think, I'd like for you to go and see it later by yourselves. What we did in this video is, we had the organization, we had the faculty, we had people in the town of Patterson, and we had the parents that were affected by this program, the children who were benefited by this program, and we selected the 3 stories that we thought would really capture what this organization is about. And the stories we told were one of the teachers who had his first cello donated to him by his church, and that's how they gave him a career. There was a kid who talked about what is important to her with music, a parent who talked about what this program did for her child. And when I say they set it up for success, this is what, if you get nothing else from this webinar but making a video, the second thing I would ask you to consider is set up your video for success. Because so often I work with clients who spend all this money to make a video and then slap it up on their website and YouTube and hope that, people are going to bat down the hatches to come and do business with them or donate money to them. What Patterson Music Project did really well was what they did very well was they had a breakfast, okay? So they invited about 150 people to a breakfast and basically told these people, look, we're going to ask you for money. And the video became the centerpiece of the breakfast. But everything around it set that video up to do what it did, okay? So they had the children there playing the music. They had the people introducing, what the project is about and what they do with the money. And even down to the little, the centerpiece at the table was a little violin made by the children. It was just so beautiful. From the moment you walked into that room, into the breakfast room, you felt the Patterson Music Project. And then finally, when they said, okay, we're going to show you what we're about. And it's a beautiful moment, where the lights get dimmed down, the speakers get turned up, the screens come down, and the video starts playing. I'm trying to create a scenario for you just for you to understand, why it was as successful as it was. So the video starts playing, and, there's music, there are these stories, there is a mother who starts crying, and at every moment in the video, we were eliciting the response that we expected, from the video that we had produced. People were touched, people were smiling, people were laughing, and then when the video ended, there was a quiet moment where, literally you could hear a pin drop in that room because, they were moved. The lights came back on, and the first thing that came after it was they said, look, here's why you need to support us. But because they had seen these kids playing the instruments, then they heard their stories in the video, they had been touched so many different points that the video was set up for success. And in a sense that the video made their ask successful. So, this is what I mean by when you get ready to make a video, think it through right to the end, where you're going to play it, how you're going to play it, how you're going to ask for money, what's going to be in this video, and then even after the event. So after the event, one of the things that we did in this video that you may or may not want to use in yours, but I'll just tell you what we did. What we did is we featured everybody. We featured the faculty, the administration, the people from the town, the Board of Education, members of the board of the organization, the students. So what we did in bringing all these people into the video was we set it up to be shared in different places, right? So the parents shared it with their friends, the board members shared it with their board members, obviously, because, they're in the video. The kids want to share the video. We mentioned the New Jersey Council on the Arts. So that video went out to those people. They were happy that they got recognition for what they did, so they started sharing the video. So in 8 minutes, we created a piece that traveled far outside the room that it was going to play in. And this is what I mean by have an excellent plan. So as soon as your video is ready, start pushing it out there, and push it out to the right people. So in some sense, earlier when I talked about, viral videos, it's great if you can have a viral video, but if the viral video isn't bringing in money, then all you've got is a viral video and whatever money you're earning from YouTube. But if you have a video that is specifically created to bring you funds in a fundraising, then really think it through as to how you're going to get the maximum impact from having an excellent plan of putting that video out. So that is the Patterson Music Project, and honestly, I was just, one other thing, okay, that I should mention in passing. We said, okay, this organization doesn't have a lot of money. They contacted me. I have a lot of friends in the film industry, people who've done, Hollywood and all of this, and I'm like, all right, guys, can you just step down from your perch for a minute and make a nonprofit video for me? And it's amazing when you ask people, and this is what not-for-profits have, this incredible ammunition really, is you have such amazing stories to tell that when you tell people, hey, can you help me? You'll be amazed. People will help you. So on this one, I got a film director of photography who's worked on some of the biggest films in the world. He came in and, we got this incredible location, the Art Factory in Patterson, which is this incredible location, for free. And then not only that, but to bring in all these extraordinary resources, that they put in extraordinary resources. So at one point, the executive director of the organization was running around moving furniture, and they, it just became such a group effort, which if you went out to an agency or a production company to make this kind of video, it would cost you $25,000 to $30,000. Okay, we did it for much less than that. But the true worth of this video is that much, because those are the people that got involved, and that's the amount of time, that's the amount of money that the time they put in is worth. So don't worry about budgets is my thing to you. If you don't have the money, if you're resourceful, you'll find a way to do it. So what are a couple of things to consider in video marketing? As I said earlier, definitely have a strategy. Do something that fits within a plan. So maybe, sometimes you have small informational videos, maybe just vines about some people that you're working with, things that you're doing, and then have, to meet your fundraising goals, you have a high production value video, and then for your other content marketing, it could be low production value. It could be stuff that's made on smartphones and what have you, but keep a content strategy alive. Um, Most importantly, know your target audience, your purpose, and your voice. You know, be funny, be compelling, be interesting, be whatever it is, but make sure that that voice and purpose matches your target audience. If you're trying to be funny among people who don't appreciate humor, that's probably not a good idea. The other thing is do it once and do it right. This video, the one we made for Patterson Music Project, will have a shelf life of at least 3 to 4 years, or even 5. So when you make a high production value video, it hangs around longer, whereas, a video that's of low production quality, you can use it in your everyday marketing, but not something that will stand the test of time. Therefore, it will have a better return on investment if it has a good production quality. The other thing is that when you're using video, you're basically creating a library of footage, and this library of footage can be used in different things, like I'm doing here. I'm using shots from recent videos that I did just to add a little visual component to my webinar. But you can take some of these images and use them in your print material that you're sending out, in your info cards, in your on your website. And then finally, the question, I get this question a lot, which is, how long should the video be? And, everybody will tell you, oh, it should be 30 seconds, 2 minutes. People's attention spans are low. People don't watch long-form video. And I'll tell you that if, we played an 8-minute video in a room, and that video has been playing on YouTube and Vimeo and all these places, and people are watching an 8-minute video. So as long as your content is compelling, it doesn't matter how long your video is. The next thing is, how do you use the video? And I alluded to some of this earlier. If you have a content marketing strategy using a blog, a social media, people who are your influencers and alliances, podcasts, newsletters, events, put together a marketing calendar. And it's great that we're doing this webinar in December, because if you don't have one already, you can spend the next couple of days building a calendar for 2015, so you know exactly what it's going to look like and when you're going to need what by. So let's say you're doing year-end fundraising, and you have an event, like a breakfast event, which is happening, let's say, in November or December. Then by August, you should already be getting your ducks in a row to get a video together. And that extends to all the other channels as well. What is this going to cost you? Technically, a lot of the work that happens in video is expensive, because a lot of people work for a lot of time outside what you see to make that video possible. There's pre-production, production, post-production. There's all these people. There's editors. If you're making a professional production, you should have a great audio person, great sound, camera, makeup, so on and so forth. You can spend up to 200 to 250 hours making a 7-minute video with all these people. At the lowest, it should cost you about $4,000. And like I said earlier, if you're doing a video that is of high production quality, this is for $4,000 that you can amortize over 3 years, and you see why it is money worth spending. How do you fund it? You can fund it, Kickstarter and Indiegogo are great places where you can crowdfund. There are, of course, government and foundation grants to do work like this. There's collaborative marketing. If, two organizations have create something from which both of you or 3 of you can increase your leads and your influence. And then finally, user-generated videos. So, this year we had this hugely compelling and successful ALS campaign, the Ice Bucket Challenge. It was an extraordinary campaign. They raised more money than I can even count, and all of it came from a simple concept: dunk an ice bucket on your head. So if you can come up with a really smart idea like that, user-generated video is another way you can really get your message out there. And on that note, thank you. Thank you for listening. This was informative. And if you ever need to reach me, here's all the ways you can reach me, and you can if you want, and I'd be happy to answer it. Over to you, Amy.
Thank you. Jen, thank you so much. Can you hear me now? Because I was having a little trouble before.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Okay, terrific. That was really helpful, I think. I hope everyone got a lot out of it. But I have to say, what I didn't prepare you all for is that Genevieve has that incredibly lovely accent as well that I could listen to all day. So thank you. Thanks for classing it up, Jen. Okay, so we are going to take some questions. Genevieve has a little bit of time to share, a little more time. So if you would like to submit a question via chat, I already have, I did put a chat out to all of you letting you know that, but if you'd like to ask a question, I'd be happy to repeat it to her. I also want to let everybody know that this is being recorded, so you will receive an email later today that will include the recording of the presentation. It'll include the slides and all of the audio, hopefully. And the only thing that won't be included in the recording are the videos that played from YouTube because of copyright issues. That's not included in that recording, but I will include the links to all of the videos that Jen mentioned in the presentation. So, and thank you all for your compliments. I see some wonderful stuff coming through here. So, one of the questions we had, and you just addressed it, was what should we expect to pay at a minimum for a high production value video? So thank you for addressing that. But I think there's another question that kind of dovetails off of that. Jen, do you have any information of like what percentage of the marketing budget would be the appropriate amount for video production? Is there a standard?
Generally, about 10 to 15% of the marketing budget should be, set aside for video. That's generally where most of my clients end up. And right now, with video distribution going through the roof, I mean, if you just Google video and mobile, for example, the numbers are going through the roof, and you can see Facebook and Google and everybody trying to make every effort possible. So that is money very well spent, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. There's so much SEO value as well. And, what I really loved was that you pointed out earlier, the setting one's video up for success really means thinking about how you're going to promote it outside of just having it and putting it on your website. So, taking into consideration how people are finding information is really useful. Thank you. We have another question about, let me see, actually there are a few. As far as scripting the video, is there a particular formula, a standard formula that you would use?
For scripting?
If you were to script, and is scripting what you would recommend?
I am a huge fan of scripting, and when we say scripting, there's a couple of things, right? You don't actually have to write a script to say, okay, this person must say this and that person must say that, and have the exact words. But it's a good idea to sit down and chart out how your video is going to flow. So I'm going to try and compress 20 years of reading every book on screenwriting to tell you your film must have a beginning, a middle, and an... I'm sorry?
We get the answer. I'm sorry. I'm like, we get the clip notes. Go ahead.
The cliff notes. Your video must have a beginning, middle, and an end, right? So you have a smart and compelling opening, and then you have a middle, and then it has to have an end, which is a call to action that says, okay, after you've watched this, what do you expect the person to do? You know, do you want to call you, give you money, visit your website, whatever that is. But what's important when you're scripting is if you want to touch somebody's heart, you want to tell a story that's funny or sad, what is that story? And you need to talk to the person telling the story and make sure that the way that person is expressing that is actually successful. So when you watch the Patterson Music Project, we did not script this in the sense we didn't tell them what to say, but we did ask them, what is the story that would best describe your role in this project? And then when they said it, you know, we helped them bring it down to its essence, so it wasn't, you know, a 5-minute rambling story, but, you know, bring it down to its essence that you could capture in about 30 seconds. So those are my thoughts on scripting. But I wouldn't advise, you know, scripting an entire video and trying to follow that, because you will lose spontaneity if you do that.
Well, I thank you for boiling that down. It's that 20 years plus experience in filmmaking, and you did do that very succinctly. Thank you.
You know, one more thing. Sorry, just one thought.
Yeah, that's okay. We have a couple more questions too.
Okay, I referenced the video on, you know, the neurochemistry. If you watch that video, it actually talks about a structure of a video, so that should be helpful as well.
Oh, thank you. Perfect. Okay, we have a couple of more questions here, and you spoke about how small the music project was and how little money they had. Can you give a little point of reference in terms of the size of the organization, the Patterson Music Project?
Patterson Music Project, they currently have about 100 kids in one school in Patterson. And amazingly enough, their program has been so successful that they're going to be expanding into, I believe, 2 or 3 other public schools in Patterson.
Wow.
Yeah, they've been so successful. And all of their stuff, their instruments, they're set up in the Community Charter School of Patterson. So the program is actually held there. And the most amazing thing is, honestly, to tell you the truth, because my daughter went to public school, these kids at the Patterson Music Program are actually getting almost 6 hours a week of music instruction, which is about 100% more than what my daughter got in the public school. It's an extraordinarily focused program, but yes, that's how big they are.
That's their size. Do you have any in terms of their budget or staff? Do you, in terms of would you happen to know what their annual revenue is, or any ideas?
I'm sure that I don't have. Okay, but sure what I can tell you though is that they're actually, this project was started by the Water Music Center in Berkeley Heights. So the Water Music Center is actually a for-profit music center that started this program as an offshoot. So if you look on Wharton, you'd probably get some information there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I hope that answers your question to the audience member who asked that. And another question, and this may have been covered in the part where I wasn't able to hear, but I wanted to check. Do you have any thoughts on the use of animation? My organization is thinking of this as, where did it go? Sorry, is thinking of this as a cost-effective, graphically oriented approach to video. So what are your thoughts on animation?
My thoughts on animation are, you know, animation, I don't know where, okay, let me phrase this a better way. Good animation, simple looking animation, which is compelling and smart, is actually quite expensive to do. So generally when you're looking at video costs between, let's say, $1,000 to $1,500 a minute, animation will cost you about that amount. Yes, you can find cheaper alternatives where, you go to Elance or one of those people and, find somebody in Eastern Europe or Asia to make the videos cheaply. But if your animation is not done well, it would backfire. So I would advise you not, I mean, I don't know what kind of animation you're considering, but be careful about animation, because if it's not done well, it can backfire badly. My point is that it's not cheaper than traditional production with live people and all that. Just be careful about what kind of animation you're actually going to do.
Well, okay, that's perfect. Thank you. We have another question. Besides your own website and social media, any other effective way to promote your beautiful video?
Besides your own website, one of the things that my for-profit clients do, which has been hugely successful. I did a video for a financial firm. They've got a television in their lobby, and that video constantly loops. As a gift, once a year, they actually put the video on a thumb drive and mailed it to people. They also play it at the beginning of any of their presentations, anywhere they go. So, they carry the video on a thumb drive and play it on a presentation. And just giving people a DVD. Send people a DVD, because, even in today's age where people are watching everything on mobile and whatnot, there are some people who will, and I find definitely the older audiences that have a little more money to give actually do prefer getting stuff on a DVD that they can pop in and watch. So those are some of the ways you can do it.
We just received one last night at an affair, so I could definitely agree with you on that. And while some people are probably, like you said, the DVD is useful to some people, and other people, I know I had to say, do we have a DVD player? But a lot of people do, and I have one on my laptop, so that's helpful. Jen, I think we're going to wrap this up. I don't see any other questions coming through at this point, but I want to say thank you so much. This was really helpful. The feedback from everybody on the chat has been fabulous, and walking us through how to develop how to set our marketing up for success is really, something that's helpful to us all. So thank you. I'll let you close with any closing words, and I will be in touch with everybody here. You'll receive an email a little bit later today with the links and the recording.
Thank you so much, Amy. Actually, I just wanted to close with, I just posted a link. Oh, you know what? I just sent it to you. Hold on just 1 second. Hold on. Where's everybody? Hold on one moment.
You know what? Yeah, that's okay. I'll put it in there. I have it.
Oh, you have it. Okay. I just posted a link, which is, YouTube has a great program for nonprofits where they actually help you to, reach out to your donors and stuff. So do look up the link that I just posted there. But otherwise, thank you so much for being here. And, definitely reach out if you have any questions or comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.
Have a good day. Have a good day all. Bye.
Bye.